Welcome back to Wxline. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to take a look at the WAVE Interface Transceiver. And this is our next WAVE Interface transmitter. This is the two-way communication transceiver, which means it sends messages and receives them back from the units in the field. There are a few other differences between the transceiver and the WAVE Interface transmitter. We're going to go ahead and highlight those today and look at how to program your transceiver for your stations in the field. Let's take a look at the main menu. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the system configuration here and take a look at how to set up your wave siren stations to communicate with your transceiver. So first, we take a look. Let's just look at the transmitter configuration menu. You have your sirens, strobe, sequencer menu. You can decide if you want to use them on schedule, always off, always on, your standard options that we've had for years now. You can also, in here, select how you want the WAVE transceiver to receive its data, either via relay from the Lightning Data Receiver legacy that's connected at the top, or the fiber also connected there at the top. The fiber would only be connected to a Lightning Data Receiver version 2. You have these other options for deciding when you want the sequencer to be activated, and if you do use the relay output, then you can set the relays to match what you have in your Lightning Data Receiver. For example, alarm at 5 miles and caution at 20. If you access the transmitter configuration menu, you'll see on the right hand side receive units configuration button. Click that. In here is where you configure your wave sirens and sequencers to communicate with this particular wave transceiver. At the bottom, you have your max unit number ID. In this case, there's 5 for this example. And keep in mind, unit 01 will be the WAVE Interface Transceiver, this thing. Unit number 02 would be the first wave siren station, 03 the second, 04, and then 05. So in this scenario, you have 4 wave siren stations in a transceiver for a total of 5. You can select a unit that you want. For example, unit number 2, and we'll go ahead and name it here. In this case, we'll call it the pool. Click through the buttons and, P-O-O-L. You have to use the spaces to get to the next spot. Set the label. Go to the next unit. We'll say this one is at the Pro Shop, for example. So go ahead and create your label and set the label. You'll see if you exit out, go ahead and go back in there, and the labels do stay with the units. Opening up the advanced configuration menu will reveal a number of options that are standard on our interface, whether it's a transceiver or a transmitter, including turning the beeping on and off on the touch, the transmission display and whether or not it sends out the message, and turning on and off this transmitter. As you can see, I demonstrated, you want to make sure the transmitter button is illuminated in green so that it will send out the messages. These other options, like I mentioned before, are completely customizable to you. Manual alarm timeout is important. In the event that you do leave the transceiver in a manual alarm state, it will time out and go back to an automatic state after the set number of minutes that you see here in this particular setting. Keep that in mind. When you are manual, you override the automated lightning warning system as you took control of it manually. When we look inside the manual alerts, the first feature that we're going to notice that's different than the WAVE interface is the ignore LDR switch right here in the middle. This will override your automated signal coming from your Lightning Data Receiver. The other buttons and features are the same as they are in the WAVE interface. Going back to the main menu and looking in the manual outputs, we'll find the way to communicate with the siren stations directly. At the top, you have send transmitter codes. These are the standard codes that are in all the transmitter interfaces and transceivers. In the send fiber LoRa codes, Here you could talk to an individual station and send an individual message. Select the station, push the button. If you use Unit 00, that applies to all the stations. In the manual relay output tests, we could turn on each individual relay, and they're located right here in the bottom front of the transceiver. Next, we go to our transmitter test mode, and here you can put the transmitter into test mode. Now we look at the WSS diagnostics, WSS standing for Wave Siren Station. In here, where we can communicate with each siren station individually and get diagnostic information to help us before we go into the field. You know whether or not you need a battery or desiccant, and whether or not the station is operational, if it's recording any errors. So you click the station number, and for example, environment, this is showing you that the internal temperature is 75.18 degrees, the humidity is at 15.22%. And we take a look at the power. Currently the battery is at 13.48 volts. The negative current value shows that the battery is charging, as shown right here. Another thing we can look at is the RSSI, which will show us the signal strength. What we want is a high SNR ratio. The higher the number, the better. Ideally, we want it in double digits or better. Currently, there are no errors detected. If there were, you would see them right here under where it says errors, and it would provide a number. You click on the definitions, and if we could look at unit number 2, see if there's any errors. No errors detected. Let's go ahead and take another look at the radio signal. The local ratio shown here in the bottom is helpful for troubleshooting, but the SNR ratio above in double digits is what we want to look for. In the environment, we see mild temperature, 70 degrees on the inside, but a high humidity at 22.81%. This would indicate it needs desiccant to be changed in it. We take a look at the battery voltage. We show it's 13.52. It's fully charged. That's why the voltage is positive there for the amperage. We'll go ahead and take you back to the main menu. Those are the main differences between the transceiver and a transmitter. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day.